Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Nighthawk of the OG Loko and Nighthawk Show. Just wanted to give you guys an update on the state of our channel. We are still making content. We're still going to be putting out some videos and stuff like that. We just had a couple of tied up months where our schedules just never aligned, so we could never record anything. So still working on things, and also I was lazy on editing stuff. I actually do have 3 hours worth of material to edit, and I just haven't gotten through it all yet. So look forward to new videos. Hopefully this next month we'll start getting more videos out. Trying to do more vlogs too, just to keep everybody up to date, and also to keep videos constantly coming up on our screen here. A lot of things happened this last week with the Star Wars celebration. I think today's the last day of it. That trailer, holy shit. I am really excited for that movie. I stayed up. I work nights. I stayed up so I could see the live stream of, the Last Jedi panel, because there's all these rumors circling around. There's going to be a trailer. And it makes sense. There's got to be a trailer. It's the Last Jedi panel at the Star Wars celebration, the 40th one, or the 40th year since Star Wars has been around. And so I stayed up. I was not disappointed. They showed it twice, which I thought was kind of funny. And it looks pretty cool, but there's a whole lot of speculation as to what the hell's going on with that. Luke's line at the very end of the trailer saying, oh, by the way, spoiler, Luke's, if you for some reason don't want to watch the trailers, which I can get that, it's time for the Jedi to end. That's just like, oh, shit. That's like the central focus of the entire Star Wars saga is the Jedi and the Force, which he just said the Jedi need to end. It doesn't mean that Force users end or anything like that. That doesn't happen very often, but in like the expanded universe and stuff. In fact, I don't think it ever really happens at all. But anyway, so it has to go with the balance of the Force thing. Luke was training a new set of, this is my theory, by the way. Luke was training a new set of Jedi for the galaxy, and without any Sith to counteract that, that's upset the balance, because the Force always has to be in balance. If there's, Jedi, there has to be the Sith. Well, and I think that's what Luke is realizing, is that if there's Jedi, there's going to be Sith. There's light side, there's got to be a dark side. That's how balance is achieved. So that might be what he's referring to with, the balance. And that's why he started training new set of Jedi. And then he thought that maybe if he, went into hiding and stepped away from the galaxy, basically, that, it minimized his influence on the Force and would stop the Sith from rampaging the galaxy. I guess they're not calling Kylo and Snoke the Sith, but dark side users, whatever. So it's kind of an interesting thing, or at least an interesting theory in my mind. There's other theories out there too. There's plenty of things that he could be meaning. He could literally be meaning that the Jedi need to end. No one needs the Force anymore, whatever. Which would be even with all the aliens and all the cool stuff, that's to be a boring life. But there's also the Gray Jedi. There's trying to think of what else. There's other tiers of Force users, not just Jedi and Sith. There's a whole gamut between that. So it's not just those two, polar opposites. The Gray Jedi, like Ahsoka Tano, is a Gray Jedi. She just came back into Star Wars Rebels, I think this, like the last season or the season before last. I don't remember. But it's, they kind of walk that line. They're kind of like average. They're like the average between the two. So that's what I think kind of is Luke's thought process behind saying that the time of the Jedi needs to end. He could be referring to that, so that way if there's no Jedi, then there's no Sith rampaging against across the galaxy type of a thing, because every time the Sith get into control, they destroy a lot of shit. The Galactic Empire had a stranglehold on the galaxy for like 30 years. And then with the the First Order coming up, that's another example of it. And I think there's more evidence for, this balance in the Force thing in The Force Awakens, when Kylo Ren's talking about he's feeling that pull to the light again. And I feel like that's part of this part of the Force trying to balance everything out, because when Luke, retreated from the galaxy, that left Snoke being, the dark side user, and then it left Kylo Ren out there too, which also upsets the balance, because that means there's more of a dark side influence on the galaxy than there is not. So that, I feel like, is another little bit of evidence as to what Luke is thinking, and also, how this balance can be achieved. And then Kylo really only made that last little bit, that last little nudge, I guess, for all intents and purposes, at least as far as we know, toward the dark side, when, Rey started realizing that she had, the Force ability. And since she was on the side of good, that technically makes her a light side person, sort of. Not like that's not like a hard and fast rule there, but whatever. But she was sticking to the light side of the Force. And then he makes that last decision. He kills off Han Solo. Spoilers, if you haven't seen it by now. I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous. It's been 2 years. There's been a whole nother Star Wars movie released. This vlog kind of running a little bit long. I didn't mean to really go on a 5-minute rant on my Star Wars theories, but I'm a nerd. I like the Star Wars franchise. I like a lot of those types of things. So long tangent there, but back to the channel. I'm actually working on writing a kind of new setup of videos where we delve into theories of, either video game franchises or, movie franchises like Star Wars or TV shows, and stuff like that, and delving into why is this? Why did this happen? Why is this got to be like this? Why did this person do this? And that doesn't make sense. Try to explain those types of things. The first one I plan on trying to do is on the Halo franchise, because that's probably the franchise I'm most familiar with. I've read almost all the books. There's like a handful I haven't read yet. I've played all the games all the way through, like umpteen million times, and watched all those extra, the videos, the Fall of Reach video, Forward Unto Dawn, and Halo Nightfall. I've watched all those little ancillary bits that aren't really, it's not video game, or not part of the games per se, but they do tie in directly to it. And then with the ending of Halo 5, I felt like it was really kind of a little bit convoluted and needed more explanation without having to delve into all the extra stuff, because you don't have to read the Halo books in order to understand the story of Halo. It just adds to the lore. It adds to it's like world building. Whereas in Halo 5, it felt like there was a lot of stuff left out that wasn't explained in any of the games, that unless you had read all the books and watched all the extra stuff and, read the comics and all that stuff, then you wouldn't know. There's no way you'd know half this stuff. You wouldn't know what the domain is. You wouldn't know what, what the Forerunners were doing. You wouldn't even know what the Didact was up to in Halo 4 and stuff like that. You wouldn't have any idea on any of that stuff, because it's not really explained in the games. Unless you, I mean, there's some bits that are explained, but not to massive detail. By the way, if you want to know more about like the Forerunners, Greg Bear has a trilogy of books out there that are probably some of the hardest of the Halo books I've read, but they are super interesting. Excuse me. They're kind of hard to read just because there's so many things that he's referencing that it gets confusing, or it's really convoluted kind of quickly, because it's referencing stuff from like 50,000 years ago and stuff like that. Anyway, and also referencing concepts and ideas and stuff that are not like a normal, wouldn't be something like normal human history, wouldn't be like that. It's alien history. It's in alien history, so it's going to be a little bit foreign. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on next. Besides, I'm still working on our regular Let's Plays videos and stuff like that. Still thoroughly behind all that type of stuff. Just haven't gotten as much editing done as I'd like, and I kind of was putting effort into making like a script. I'm actually writing a script for this this Halo theory video, which, by the way, I think is going to focus mainly on Cortana and the domain, like, and why she's now cured of rampancy, which I kind of think she is and she isn't, and various other bits there. I won't delve into that now. I'll save that for the video. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling now, but I hope you guys stay tuned. If you're seeing this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that little button down there, the little red box, or you can click wherever I end up putting the little square or the little circle, I don't know, those little end card things. If you like any of our stuff, hit like. That would really help the channel out. We don't have a lot of subscribers or anything at this point, and we encourage audience interaction. So leave a comment if you have any questions. If you'd like to know if there's like a type of video that you would be curious or wanting to see, or if you want like questions or something about a video game franchise or some Star Wars or something that you would want answered, leave a comment in the space below. I mean, if I don't have an answer, I can at least find some videos. There's some really good theory videos out there also already. There's just some other things I wanted to touch on that interest me more, or that have a kind of a unique interest to me. Anyway, that all really helps the channel. Also, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I'll put links for all that in the description. And anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.